Hello everyone and welcome to another True Crime Tuesday. Today's case is something pretty much like straight out of a James Bond movie. It's incredibly, it sounds almost unrealistic. So today's case is about Gareth Williams. Gareth Williams was 32 years old when he was found dead in August of 2010. So Gareth worked for GCHQ, which is like the British equivalent of the NSA. And if you're not American and you don't know what the NSA is, it's the National Security Agency. So they basically monitor terrorist activity and etc. So he worked there for 10 years and then he started working at MI6. So if you're not familiar with MI6, it is the organization that James Bond works for, which is just so bizarre. They're basically a British international agency similar to the CIA. They've got agents and I guess they're more interested in like world safety. Gareth didn't seem very happy at his job. He talked a lot of like a drinking culture and office politics that he didn't like. And Gareth was extremely smart. At 17 years old, he graduated high school and he went to Cambridge University. But he left it because he felt like Cambridge University couldn't teach him anything. So he instead, went to work and got a job. Now, he was found in a safe house. I don't believe that he lived there, but he had definitely been staying there for a while. So a safe house is like something that MI6 would use to hide potential witnesses or put up some of their employees for like a temporary project or who lived far away from work. But first of all, he'd been working with MI6 for a while, so he didn't live in this safe house. But it is unclear why he was there, but he had definitely been there for a couple of days because, and it'll come up later, but MI6 knew he was there. Now he was found dead inside a duffel bag, which was padlocked from the outside, inside a bathtub, and the heating in the safe house had been turned up. Now, I know it's London, but in August you don't need heating, and it wasn't just on, it was turned up quite high. Now, most likely this was done to speed up the decomposition of the body, and I think that's also why they put the duffel bag with his body in it in the bathtub, so that fluids and stuff would just go down the drain. Now he was supposed to be at work for an entire week before MI6 called the police and said that they hadn't seen him a week. They didn't report that they hadn't seen him until he had been gone for an entire week. So it was police who stopped by the safe house to do a check, and that's how I know that MI6 knew he was there and had been there for a while, because they hadn't seen him in over a week and told police that he was in the safe house, meaning he had been there at least a week prior. Inside the safe house, also a woman's wig was found on a chair, and there was 20,000 pounds worth of women's clothing. Now, this is rumored. I couldn't find anywhere that this is actual fact, but it was reported in a lot of articles that was found in the safe house. Now, there were no fingerprints or footprints found in the bathtub or around the bathroom. And it looked very much like the room had been expertly cleaned. So if Gareth had been staying there for a few days already, his DNA would be found somewhere in the bathroom, and it wasn't. Or at least some of his prints, and nothing was found. Now, the was most likely killed with poison and then asphyxiation from being in the duffel bag. She said the lack of prints showed that the bathroom had been expertly cleaned, and she was very critical of the police investigation and how they contaminated the evidence. This was completely contrary to what police said, because police believed that he did this to himself. His landlord had said that he had called him for help once, handcuffed to the bed, and he said that he was working on some sort of escape trick, but he got stuck. So his landlord needed to come and free him. If that's true, it's not inconceivable that he did it to himself. There's a video on YouTube of someone proving that you can lock yourself in a duffel bag like it's a woman, and you can see her going into the duffel bag and somehow like closing the zippers from the inside and attaching a padlock. However, I do want to point out that there were no fingerprints found on the zipper or the padlock, and it's impossible for him to wipe them off once he's in there, plus why would he? And the coroner definitely believes that he was murdered. Now, if she believes he was poisoned, you would think that she found poison. I couldn't find this anywhere, but I assume that she found poison in his bloodstream, because how else would she think that he was poisoned? Now, there's also a theory that an agent from another Secret Service came in through the skylight of the apartment and moved some stuff around. So whenever they find like fingerprints or a footprint, they put this like black plastic case over it to make sure that it's like protected. And several of those cases had been moved overnight, but the apartment was protected by police. There was armed police waiting outside the door. So the assumption is that someone came in through the skylight undetected and moved all this stuff, and possibly did some cleaning up of the apartment. So, onto the theories, which are very, very conspiracy theory, like, you know, because of this whole case. So, the first theory is apparently Gareth breached his own clearance rights, and he tapped into a guest list for a party that Bill Clinton was throwing. Now, apparently his boss was really angry about this, but I don't know what the theory is. I found this under theories, but I don't know if people think that his boss was so angry that he wanted to get rid of him, or if his boss was worried that Gareth could access so much secret information and that's why he wanted to get rid of him. Now, some people believe that the clothing that was found in the apartment was used for Gareth to do undercover work. Now, there's two things about this that bother me. One, Gareth was pretty much a data processor. He wasn't an agent. It did become clear that he was more important than they were letting on, because he had been in the US a number of times and he attended a few high-up functions. But he wasn't actually an agent. And also, why wouldn't they just use a female agent to do the undercover work? Why use a man to dress up as a female, unless he had to go undercover with a group of cross-dressers? I'm not ruling that out. I'm just saying I find it unlikely. I would think that, well, actually, I don't know if it's that unlikely. This whole case seems so unlikely. Now, there was a KGB agent who said that he knew Gareth was poisoned through his ear, and that Gareth was following some money trails from the Russian mafia, and that some Russian cars were seen around his apartment in the weeks leading up to his death. So he thinks he was killed by the Russian mafia because he was about to expose some of their, I guess, money laundering activities. And then I saw a theory from one person who said that since he was a computer/mathematical genius, working in the intelligence field and seemingly unhappy with where he worked. He thought that maybe he had been preparing to do something similar to WikiLeaks and basically release a massive leak on MI6 and the British government. And that's why he was killed. I don't know. I find this a really strange case because it's so bizarre that something that it sounds like something like the plot of a really good movie or TV show. It doesn't sound like it's something that happens in real life. But I somehow doubt that he was killed by his own or even another agency, because I feel like they would make him disappear and not let him be found somewhere for people to investigate. I think it's more likely that he was killed by something like a mafia, because they don't really care about disposing bodies. Like it's very hard to catch them anyway. But I kind of feel like if he was killed by an agency, that they would have just made him disappear. But I don't know. Yeah, this is a pretty short video. This is all there is in this video. But I thought it was a really interesting case because it just sounds like it comes right out of a James Bond movie, including the agency that he worked for. So yeah, let me know what you guys think.